good to be back with the guys. We're really excited from yesterday, being able to see the guys. We were able to see some new additions in our locker room with games that are competitive. We got a little ping pong set in the locker room. We got some darts. We got some cornhole, and they also have like a half basketball court, shooting only, obviously, because we don't want guys getting hurt. But I think it's really cool as far as the bonding time that we get with one another throughout this training camp.
Who's got the best shot on the team?
I'm not too sure. They say the receivers are the best shooters on the team, but I don't know. They haven't seen the quarterback shoot.
Whose face from these guys goes on the dartboard first?
Oh, well, I haven't seen too many guys playing on the dartboard, so I got to say something about our team. I don't know if we're a good dartboard team. Yeah, I would say that being hard on myself is all constraints, and I think for any competitor, that's the way we've kind of grown to become as professional athletes. I think everyone's hard on themselves at a certain extent, but for me, I know my capabilities, and so when I'm not playing up to it or living up to it, then it gets frustrating. And I think everyone on the team feels the same way when they don't do their job the way they're supposed to do it, because overall it either benefits the team or it doesn't.
Tom mentioned that they don't put pressure on you, there's no pressure on you, but do you feel pressure on yourself? Do you put pressure on yourself?
I would say I never put pressure on myself, but it comes with the position. Pressure's always there. Playing this position, and playing in the NFL. I think for any professional athlete, everyone can attest that it's unadded pressure. We put that pressure on ourselves to compete every day, to be the best, do things the right way, and to try to do things the right way consistently.
So how would you assess your first practice?
With what Coach Mike said, I'm always hard on myself, so I would never say I had the best practice or it was a great practice. I think overall it was a good first day of practice. Obviously, there's things that we can work on, but it's the best when you get to come back. You get to get back out on the field, throw to the guys, see coverage again, get back into the groove of things. I think once you get into your rhythm, that's when things start to click on both sides.
So we heard Mike say he was impressed with the attitude and energy of people coming back from summer break. What have you noticed about that mentality coming off of that long break?
Yeah, I think everyone's excited, but I think one thing is not to be lost in translation. A lot of guys are working throughout the offseason. I'm not one on social media, but Coach had a presentation he shared with us yesterday, and he took a screenshot of everyone that posted their workouts, and he showed all of them, and dang near half the team. I wasn't on there because I guess I don't take pictures enough to post them on my social media. So
because of this one from Nick.
I mean, I wasn't really committing training.
Plenty of social media.
I think it's more Tyreek from what I hear. Tyreek, but
Coach talked about your role as a leader on this team. How would you feel about captaincy this year?
Say what?
Captaincy. How would you feel about the team?
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, whether I go up to speak on behalf of me wanting to be a captain, or the team just voting and there's these candidates, I think it comes with my position to always be a leader. And for me, I've always said that I'm not the kind of person to get in front of people and scream and lead in that way. But I try to lead in my actions, and try to lead in a way that helps our team get better. That's building relationship with the guys. It also helps, when being able to keep on, hold all these other games every now and then.
What's it like getting such public support from Tyreek? You guys have played all over the place, just blowing up.
Yeah, it's cool. Tyreek is someone that has well established himself in this league, and to have the support from him means a lot. glad to have him as my teammate.
When you hear it, is it just like
Jalen having him this offseason? Have you seen any growth or things that Jalen's picked up playing next to him so far?
Jalen playing next to Tyreek? Well, I think all the guys picked up on something little from every person that has come through the building with us. You know, with Tyreek's not one to think he knows it all. Guys that are way younger than him, he takes advice from them. He asks them questions, you know, and I think that's cool. And he creates that atmosphere for everyone in the receiver room that, hey, you're never too good to not take, you know, coaching from even your guys.
On that ball beside with Tyreek, the ball came out pretty early on that. How much confidence do you get from a guy that kind of win so early, and how much does it help you anticipate earlier in your kind of progression?
I think our throws are always dependent on coverage. It was man, they tried to spin the coverage, running. I think it was some kind of blur coverage. We spotted it, and Tyreek was one outside, gave him an opportunity, and he made the play.
so when you hear things?
Competition with Teddy Bridgewater out there, how's it like having him as a quarterback?
I think it's amazing having Teddy. You know, I've been very fortunate to have guys that are a lot older than me, more experienced than me in the room. My first year with Fitz, my second year with Jacoby Brissett, and then now my third year with someone who's relatively close friends with Jacoby and Teddy. So, you know, I think it's cool. You can learn from everyone. So it's been good having Teddy.
So when you hear Tyreek say these things, or the word gets back to you, are you like this again, or what does he say now? And I guess, what do you feel in the reaction to when you hear things that he says about you positively?
Well, I would say that's just Tyreek's personality. You know, Tyreek's going to speak how he feels at that very moment. He just believes what he says every time. If he feels he's the best at this, he's going to let you know. Out there on the field, if he feels, you know, someone's talking too much and he wants to go against them, he's going to let them know what he's going to do to him. You know, that's just his personality. And I think it's fun to have that kind of personality on the team. But for me, again, like I said, it's awesome to have that kind of support from somebody like that.
Is he at your house?
I think with those kind of conversations, I think it's best to keep it private. I never want to share anything that I feel like coach wouldn't want out. So I think that's probably for him to kind of share. But I think everyone has their own motive for playing this sport. A lot of us grew up loving the sport. A lot of us grew up playing it since we were little. But a lot of us have families that we got to take care of. You know, and we use this sport as an avenue to help us for after.
How new does all of this feel, this training camp coming in? New offense, new teammates. I know there's new teammates every year, but it's a lot.
Yeah, I think every year feels like a new year. But football season never feels like it ends. You know, this off season, you're training. And when you don't want to train, you've got to go do something. Paddleboard or play something to keep active. But to me, every season feels like a new season.
Tua, what kind of foundation, as you guys are picking up this new offense, what kind of foundation did spring practice set for you guys to start at training camp?
I think it set a really good foundation, and it helped that a lot of the guys showed up to our OTAs. We got to really work on things that out here would probably not look as good if guys didn't come out to OTAs. A lot of the timing, you know, just figuring out the offense and the little intricacies of the details that Mike wants us to kind of work on and understand. We got to do that throughout this offseason. We're looking forward to all of that kind of showing throughout this training camp and the season.
Final question here. Expectations have been so high for you at every point of your athletic career. Pee-wee, high school, drafted into the NFL. And now it seems like maybe more than ever there are people in the media, coaches, executives, whatever, who are questioning your ceiling, even your ability. How do you process that? How do you feel about that? How much of a change is that for you?
Well, I don't know any of those guys, so I mean, if that's what they have to say, then good for them. It's probably a good thing for them to say. They draw people for clickbait or I don't know, whatever that is. But to me, if I can't hear you, then you're not that important. If you're in my circle and I can hear you, what you're saying, obviously you got to be extremely important for me. So if I can't hear it, then it's probably not important.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.